Stand by for Moana.org radio. In 3, 2, 1. Cue the announcer.
You found Moana.org radio, your one source for tech news and reviews. Now, almost live from sunny Florida, here's your host, Moana McCall.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 217 of Moana.org radio. We got a great show lined up for you. 16, count them, 16 bookmarks to talk about tonight. I went a little bit easy. I could have easily had about 24 bookmarks because it is Tuesday. Lots of news. We had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday to gather news, and I had a little bit of an issue today. I was trying to gather my bookmarks, so I was already running late. And Delicious.com, the main site I use for the bookmarks, just went down. I was like, okay, that's the first time this ever happened to me. And it's still acting up. So if you have trouble getting there, if you're watching live at live.buana.tv or justin.tv/Buana or Ustream, I apologize. Just keep refreshing. The links should show up, and you should see 16 bookmarks over there. I said that a lot last year. I was watching the video over there, and I was cracking up at myself. So we got a great show. Without further ado, let me first talk about my sponsor, which is GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting allows you to share your desktop screen, and with that, you can conduct meetings, sales, presentations, trainings, all this stuff. And this is the new and better way of doing things. In the past, you would have to travel, you'd have to get on a plane, you would have to spend a whole lot of money. But with GoToMeeting, you can spend as little as $49 a month and get unlimited meetings virtually. So they see what you see. So if you're on a call, you're talking about a product, and you want to pitch something, you say, hey, here's this GoToMeeting link. Click on that. And it brings up a screen. They see what you see. Works on the Mac, on PC, voice over IP, chat, pointer tools, highlighters, everything to make it seem like you're actually there. So if you want to give this product a try, go to gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. You can get a free 30-day trial. That's gotomeeting.com/techpodcast. We got a great show lined up for episode 217 of Buana.org radio.
It's time for Moana.org radio's tech news for this week.
And for our first story, we're going to talk a little bit about Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 came out, and it's getting a little bit of controversy. I think every time Valve comes out with something new, they either release it late, buggy, or late. And they have this motto that it'll be released when it's done. And it's oh no, I don't know. Anyway, this story right here talks about our folks over in the UK. They're gonna have to wait. According to this article on joystick.com, the folks in the UK are gonna have to wait until Friday morning. And it makes no sense really when you think about it. It's a virtual product. You can download it from the internet, from Steam. So why in the world would it be delayed so much for the UK version? I don't know. According to Valve's own Left 4 Dead 2 blog, according to this right here, it says copies of the games are still arriving across the pond, with assurances from developers that they'll have everyone playing in the UK playing Left 4 Dead 2 by Friday morning. Well, so yeah. Check this story out. I don't have much else to say about it. Check the story out. It's over on joystick.com. They got the details there about Left 4 Dead being left for late for the folks over in the UK. Next story has to do with iPhone, and the iPhone games are very, very popular, and EA is big with the iPhone games, but another competitor or another company that releases games for the iPhone is Konami. Konami has dropped their games to 99 cents. Games like Power Pros Touch, Crazy Kart Racing, Silent Scope, Metal Gear Solid Touch, Dance Dance Revolution, and Silent Hill have all been dropped to 99 cents. So if you're interested in any of these titles, if you saw this and you're like, oh, I may have bought it, but it was too expensive. I may have gotten Metal Gear Solid Touch, but it was too expensive. Well, 99 cents. This is a good incentive for you to get this game if you got an iPhone or iPod Touch and play some of these Konami games that are pretty polished, I must say. And I think 99 cents is a good price if you're on the fence about getting it. So check this out. This was over on toucharcade.com. It came by way of newsforgamers.com, which has the details over there. We're going to switch gears a little bit over to Twitter, and we're going to talk about Seismic. Seismic is a popular client which has kind of grown. It started out as a video chat or video conversation platform. Then it bought Twirl. Everybody remembers Twirl. It was a Twitter client, one of the very, very popular Adobe Air clients. And then it morphed into the Seismic Web. They rebranded, and but one of the things that a lot of people were concerned about was that, you know, it was reliant on Adobe Air, and Adobe Air is not the best in terms of resource utilization. A lot of people complain about the memory utilization, the CPU is just, it consumes a lot of resources. So if you're a Windows user, you'll be happy to see today that Seismic has launched a Windows only Twitter client. Yeah, they've finally gone native. This is a .NET client, and they got some screenshots over here over on readwriteweb.com. It looks almost exactly like Seismic Web, looks exactly like the Adobe Air. So they're keeping the look and feel consistent, which is important. Even though you're going native, it's important to keep that look and feel the same. So it's going to be very cool to see them do this. Hopefully they'll have a Mac client coming out soon. I was reading this, and I don't know if they're going to do it. They said that, let me try to find it. They said there's quite a few good native Twitter clients for OS X, but the most popular Twitter clients on Windows are currently Air apps. So I think that's why they targeted Windows first. I don't know if they're ever going to go for the Mac platform, because there's a ton, like this article says, there's a ton of good Twitter clients, native clients on the Mac platform. They're going to continue to develop Adobe Air client for the time being, though chances are that the company is also looking at develop a native Mac client. I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't know if it's even going to happen, but you know, we can hope. We can all hope that that happens, because native clients are better for utilization of resources and for taking advantage of features of the operating system. So check this out over on Read Write Web. Has Seismic desktop has gone native on the Windows client. Speaking of Windows, have you ever used a Windows mobile phone and you found it lacking? I haven't used Windows Mobile in a while. I did a lot of testing with Pocket PC in my QA days. We tested a lot of handheld devices. That's where I get my know-how of a lot of the intricacies of handheld devices. I tested them in and out. And back in the Pocket PC days, it wasn't all that great. And I used some of the new Windows Mobiles briefly, you know, in demonstrations and stuff. But I don't have any first hands-on experience with it. But people I talk to, they're like, it stinks. It's terrible. And I'm like, wow, is it really that bad? And they're like, yeah, it's awful. So if you're one of those people who want to get out of that Windows mobile realm and you got some time on your hands and you're feeling adventurous, Make Use Of has an article on how to install Google Android on a Windows mobile phone. Yeah, they got everything from gathering the files down to the installation process. It doesn't look easy, guys. Looks like you really got to get your hands dirty and possibly brick your device by doing this. But if you're sick of Windows Mobile, this is one way to get out. And I don't condone it. I'm not going to say I recommend the solution because I haven't tried it. But it does look like something that, you know, a lot of the hardcore geeks out there who are sick of Windows Mobile and want to get their hands on Android could take advantage of. So check this one out. This one's over on makeuseof.com. They got the details about what's happening with Google Android on a Windows mobile phone. Very, very cool. Next story is about the Xbox 360, and the Xbox 360 has finally released the much anticipated, I don't know if it's much anticipated, but the quote-unquote release of Facebook, Twitter, and Last.fm. Now, it was kind of confusing because people woke up this morning, they started up their Xbox 360 and was expecting like a dashboard update or an update, and there was no update. It just kind of turned on, if you will. I guess the last update they did, they put it all in there and they put a time release. But if you go to your dashboard in the Xbox 360, you'll see entries to install Last.fm, to install Facebook, and I think the Twitter is not really an install. I think it's a little bit lighter. But the Facebook is, I played with the Facebook and the Last.fm just a little bit, and they seem like they, it's like it takes over your entire dashboard. So once you're in the application, excuse me, it's like you're actually playing a game, in that you're in your own contained environment. And the Facebook is pretty extensive. It has a lot of stuff. I was surprised to see all that stuff. I was just expecting some basic stuff because I hadn't been following it, and I still really don't have a use for it. But those of you who are really big into Facebook and you want to bring it to your 360, or if you're big in the Last.fm and Twitter, you want to bring those to the 360, just go to your dashboard on the Xbox 360. You'll see the new options to install those over there. So check it out. This one's over on multiplayerblog.mtv.com. They got the details about the Facebook, Twitter, and Last.fm clients on the Xbox 360.
You're listening to Bawana.org Radio, a potpourri of tech news and reviews.
Borderlands. Borderlands is now the fastest selling new intellectual property. Some call it IP. I call it intellectual property. New intellectual property of 2009. And I gotta say, guys, this is, even though the game isn't on the PC, I played on the PC platform. Even though it's not completely polished, I found myself really liking this game, and I played it a lot. I played a great deal. I put a lot of hours into it. Some people call it an RPG FPS or RPS or RPFPS and RPG PFPS, GPS, FP, GP. Anyway, it combines the elements of a first-person shooter and an RPG, and it's very, very cool. And it's going to be, I talked about it on the video on Bawana.tv. They're going to be having downloadable content, and it's going to be something that's not going to be forgotten about. So if you're into Borderlands, if you're thinking about Borderlands on the fence, here's another incentive to buy it. It's the fastest selling new IP, and they're going to be building upon it. So check this story out over on joystick.com. They got the details about Borderlands and its new award. Like I said, it's a pretty good game. Tweetdeck. You guys heard of Tweetdeck, right? Very, very popular Windows client. And Tweetdeck, I used to use it religiously. I used to use it all the time, but I've kind of stepped back, and I've kind of migrated towards the web clients recently. Even though Tweetdeck does have some of the same features, but this article talks about Tweetdeck for the iPhone, and I have since moved towards Simply Tweet on the iPhone because of its push notifications. It just can't be beat. I love the push notifications for mentions and for DMs. It's very, very cool. But Tweetdeck for the iPhone is gonna get Facebook integration, and we talked about Facebook with the Xbox 360. Now if you want Facebook integration on your Twitter client on your iPhone, you can do so via Tweetdeck for the iPhone. And if you've never used Tweetdeck on the iPhone, it does have the same column interface that you're used to on the desktop. So if you have multiple columns, multiple search items for multiple things, you'll notice that Tweetdeck has that on the iPhone client as well. It's got a different interface. Kind of looks like the you know on the iPhone where you have Safari and you got multiple tabs and you have to move them from side to side. It's kind of got that look and feel for Tweetdeck for the iPhones. Check it out. This one's over on the Apple blog. They got the details about Tweetdeck for the iPhone and Facebook integration. Next story is regarding Windows Update, and if you are like me, you're not a big fan of the Windows Update program, the Windows Update website. I just don't like how it works, and the automatic update features, are okay. But here's another option for you guys. This is the MSE Update utility, which will utilize Windows Update's the files, not the service. So you can use this little utility to check for updates and to run the updates independent of Microsoft's Windows Update program. So this is the MSC Update utility. They got the details over on lifehacker.com. Very, very cool. They talk about some situations where larger companies may want to turn off Windows Update so that they can apply their own updates. And one of the things that this tool supports is that you can tell it you can update MSC's virus updates manually, so you don't have to rely on Windows Update to do that. So it's got some other utilities, some other bells and whistles. Something to try out if you're not a fan of Windows Update. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Windows Update. The MSC Update utility is over on lifehacker.com. They got the details about it. You can check it out and get more details about it over where? Over there. Let's talk about Adobe. Adobe is they've been in the news a lot lately, And not all of it has been positive. There's been a lot of stuff regarding Adobe Air, of course, and their stuff with the iPhone, and the Flash is suffering on the Mac OS X platform. And one of the things I saw today, and I had to talk about it, is that they're releasing a new version of Flash. This is a new beta, and they're promising more hardware acceleration than before, because right now Flash 10 has hardware acceleration to a degree, but they're promising that this is going to make more use of your GPU, make more use of your video card in order to process Flash. This is a good announcement. I haven't tried it. I'm kind of scared to install it right now. I'm gonna probably put on a VMware image and see how it goes there. But one of the things that we're seeing, there's a trend that's going on with Flash, is that there is a lot of high definition and high quality Flash content that is killing CPUs. I mean, literally killing them. And it's not really the hardware's fault. I even on my new computer here, I was streaming. I was streaming 2 high definition streams, one to Justin.tv, one to Ustream.tv, and everything was going fine. And then I went to I don't know if it was it was a YouTube high quality stream. Now my CPU was doing like 40% with 2 high definition streams going on. I went to a YouTube stream, high quality, and my CPU shot to like 80%. I was like, what in the world? I got 2 high definition streams going on. I go to 1 high quality stream in Flash and it kills the CPU. It's ridiculous. So I'm happy to see that they're going to be addressing this. I really hope that it's actually improved as much as they say, because much of the web today is on Flash, and as we see more people move towards higher definition, more TV moving towards that stuff, it's got to improve on the performance front. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to take off like it can, like it should, to tell you the truth. So check this out. This was over on cnet.com. They got the details about it. You can read more about the Adobe Air stuff as well. Happy birthday to the folks at Sony. Because did you know, November 17th, 3 years ago, there was a new console that came out. It was called the PlayStation 3. Yeah, the PlayStation 3. Happy birthday. 3 years. 3 years. Today marks the 3-year anniversary of the release of the PlayStation 3. A lot of criticism. People said it was dead on arrival. Everybody was like, oh, the PS3 is not going to do anything. It's too expensive. Nobody's going to pay that much. There's no games. There's no games. There's no games. The online stinks. Blah, blah, blah. And it's still going strong. Despite the negativity, it is still going strong. So congratulations to Sony. Happy birthday to the PS3. And hopefully you guys will do something in the next 3 years. They promised a 10-year life. So hopefully in the next 3 years we'll see more exciting stuff from the folks at Sony on the PlayStation 3.
You found Bawana.org Radio. Tech news and tech gadgets for the hardcore geek in all of us.
Moving on, we're going to talk a little bit more about Borderlands, but we're going to focus a little bit on the PC platform. Remember I talked about how the PC has some little glitches. Well, you'll be happy to know that there's a new Borderlands patch out there. This article is entitled, Hey Borderlands PC Players, here's that patch you wanted. There's a lot of little problems. And even after this patch, there's still problems. But one of the big things that I didn't like was that the item cards didn't show all the stats. And that was one of the things that were fixed. So once you look at an item and you get the stats, it's supposed to be 5 lines of text. Oh, not on the PC platform. It was 4. So you miss out on one of the stats, and it was kind of annoying. You had to go into the INI file, change the font size manually, so you can see all 5 lines of text. Crazy. So they fixed that. A lot of other little features. Apparently they've improved voice chat. That was one of the things that I had issue with voice chat. Some people you couldn't hardly hear at all. So they're giving you more control over that. You can control volumes, you can turn it up, turn it down, and you can individually mute players. So if you got somebody you're co-oping with and they're talking with their mom, and then blah, 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 you can just mute them while they're gabbing away about whatever they don't need to be gabbing about on the microphone. So check this one out. This one's over on Destructoid.com. They got the details about all the little fixes that this Borderlands PC patch has made. If you bought it on Steam, the patch will come down automatically. Otherwise, you can go to the link in this description, which will go directly to Gearbox, and you can download the patch file and run it there. So check it out. This one's over on Destructoid.com. Speaking of the PlayStation 3, a couple stories ago, there's a new firmware about to come out. And I haven't checked my PlayStation 3. But apparently, I heard word today that it may already be out. It may be coming out sooner than anticipated. I was assuming it was going to come out Thursday. But this new firmware is going to add Facebook support to the PlayStation 3. Now, a lot of you out there who read about this are not surprised at all. You're like, well, I saw the rumor. I saw the screenshots. And yeah, that's exactly what's coming. Sony has confirmed that this update is going to include Facebook support, and it's also going to enhance the PSN friends list. There's a lot of issues with the friends list on the PS3. I mean, they made that big change. Everybody hated it. But they're going to allow you to change colors for your friends on your I don't know how big this is. I haven't tried it. It may actually improve the look and feel. I don't know. But they're going to let you change colors. But one of the things I complained about when 3.0 came out, when they came out with a new grid-like interface, was that it just did not include enough. The grid interface was cool, but it wasn't in enough areas on the PlayStation 3. And what they're doing now is that they're taking that grid interface and taking it to the photo section. So if you go to a photo album, it pops out a grid interface and you can move across your photos using that. That should be everywhere. So if you want to check it out, you can go over to the PlayStation blog. They got a video previewing the details of the firmware update that's going to come out. Like I said, some people said it was already out. I don't know, but you can check it out over there on the PlayStation blog. They got the details. Have you guys heard of TinyChat? I've covered TinyChat on here quite a bit on Buona.org Radio. We talked about how it was so easy to start a chat room. Yeah, how it was so easy to start a chat room, how it was really easy to do video. They added video capability. But now, according to this article over on Read Write Web, they're taking on Stick'em and Ustream with a new service and API. TinyChat is now taking on the big juggernauts. TinyChat.tv, which is going to compete directly with Ustream.tv. It works just like TinyChat before, but you can customize the look and feel of the room. And if you look at the screenshot here, this is essentially what it is. It is a chat room with video. So a lot of you on Stick'em know about this already. That's what Stick'em kind of does today. So they're competing with them there. And since it's so easy to start these, I mean, to start a tiny chat room, you just, boom, it just gives you a random URL and you can start a room just that easy. But now they're offering pro memberships as well, so you can set passwords for your rooms, and you can stream in higher quality video. On top of that, they have an API that's coming out, so if you want to write applications for that or you want to tie into it, you can. So, like they said, they're targeting Stick'em and Ustream because, you know, those are a lot of the features that service has. So check it out over on Read Write Web. They got the details about TinyChat and this competition with Stick'em. Cyberpower. This is the company that I bought my PC from, and I did. When I saw this article, I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," because every time I buy something new, there's somebody that comes out with something better. When I bought a new MacBook Pro, they came out with a new MacBook. When they came out with it, I bought a new. I mean, when I bought my cinema display, they discontinued it and they went with the other ones. It just happens to me. Every time I buy something, they come out with something new. It happens so much. I don't even care anymore. I just know what's going to happen. So, when I read this, I wasn't surprised. Cyberpower is updating their Gamer Extreme series, and they're going to add USB 3.0 and SATA 3 to the boxes. So, as you know, Cyberpower, or you may not know, Cyberpower allows you to customize your build. Excuse me. So, it's like you're actually building the PC but you're not. You go up there, you pick the parts you want them to build, and they charge a little bit of a premium. It costs a little bit less to build it yourself, but to me, it's worth it. And a lot of people don't like Cyberpower. I like them. I mean, I've had good experiences with them. I got this PC here; it's working fine. But this one's going to have USB 3.0 and SATA 3, and it's going to start at $749, and it's probably only going to have like I think they start with like 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the lowest video card and stuff like that, and then you have to build from there. So check this out. Where is this? Slippery Brick. Go to slipperybrick.com. They got the details about it, and you can get the details about Cyberpower and their new series. And I'm not bitter at all. No, it's not showing at all. Next story has to do with Posterous, which is one of my favorite blogs. You can easily blog over there. All you got to do is email at posterous.com, and boom, you got a blog. It's that simple. Today they're introducing a new feature to retweet your blog posts. Now, this is something that I have on my blog on Buona.org as in the form of a WordPress plugin. But now, if you write something, or if you're on the Posterous blog, you can just click this retweet link, and it'll automatically retweet the link and the description there. So, a nice little feature. Not something that's terribly grandiose, but it's nice to see that they're adding that. So check it out over on Posterous. They got the details over there. And finally, from the department of the wow, that's freaking cool department, here's a new design of a bicycle. A super minimal city bike. Super minimal. And I saw this design and I was like, I had one of those moments where I just slapped my head. I'm like, well, why don't we have this now? Why? This is the simplest design. There's no chain. There's a lot less stuff that can go wrong. It's just the simplest design ever. Now I haven't seen the seat from the. Oh, there it is. There's a top view. Very simple design. Very simple design. And hopefully the seat is comfortable. It looks a little skinny. But wow. It's just I'm not looking at the seat more so than I'm looking at the back part where the pedals are right on the back wheel. Just makes so much sense to do a bike that way. I don't know. So we'll see how this takes off. I don't know. It's a concept right now. I like it. I just really like the simplicity of that design. That concludes episode. What is this? 200. I was going to say 300. Episode 217 of Buona.org Radio. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. We're here at live.buona.tv or justin.tv/Buona. You can come by either one. I've merged the chat rooms. As you can see, the chat is now overlaid on the video. My next step is to kind of merge them all so that people in those chats can see what other people are saying, because I hate having multiple chat rooms. I like everybody to be together. But I want to thank everybody for coming by. And let's remind you that you should be voting the Podcast Awards. Podcast Awards has begun between November 13th and November 30th. And today, well, actually not today, but I found out recently that you can vote multiple times. Every 24 hours you can vote. So, yeah. So go vote again between now and November 30th. Vote every day. I'm in the tech science category, and I'm up against some juggernauts. Juggernauts. Big time blogs over there. Big time podcasts over there. So vote for me so that the little guy can have a chance, man. Can have a chance. Anyway, thank you guys for supporting me. I know a lot of you are voting, and a lot of you are getting the word out, and I appreciate that. And I really do. And I'm a little bit overwhelmed by all the exposure it's given me. But I'm glad to see that people are enjoying my content. That's why I do it. So, before I go, let me talk about my last sponsor, which is Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com and check them out. They got a great site over there. And one of the things that they do is that they encourage users who don't know HTML or CSS to build a professional-looking website. They give you great templates to choose from. They make it seem like you're a really good web developer from the tool set that they give you, because you don't need to, you don't need to know all that advanced stuff. You can pick the different complex architectures and the complex layouts of the blog simply by dragging and dropping things around. You can have a complex two column, 2.5 column thing. Just move stuff around and you don't need to know all that code. So check it out, free 14-day trial over at squarespace.com. But if you decide to stick around, you can use the code BWANA when you check out and you'll save 10% on the life of the account. So thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring us here at BWANA.org Radio. And folks, that concludes episode 217 of BWANA.org Radio. And I will see you next time.